Mark, done any reflections on that Leeds game on Sunday? Now you've had time to reflect and do the match review of it.
Yeah, really worthwhile exercise. Highlighted a few areas that we need to be better at, and also highlighted a few areas that we need to keep working on, but was very, very good in the game as well. So, yeah, got a lot out of it, and good exercise.
Your thoughts on the contribution from the forwards, getting the team into them good ball field positions?
I thought collectively we were good. I thought we were connected in large spells of the game. We got done a couple of times defensively by being disconnected, but I thought everybody contributed. I thought we moved the ball particularly well and asked some questions of a good Leeds team, that started the game and caused them some problems and brought them down. So yeah, the forwards played the part, but I thought everybody did.
After the game, you mentioned some players might have played themselves out of a starting jersey for this weekend's game against Whitehaven. How have those talks gone to those players? Are you going to give them a second chance, or are you going to make changes?
I'll make it with nothing drastic. It was just, we've gone with 22 players against Leeds, and there's some players that have confirmed that they're not just where they need to be right now. Whether that be technically, tactically, or I believe fitness-wise, there's still a couple of people that are still a little bit of a way off. So, there's a difference in journey to a lot of them people as well. We still have some young people in the group, and yeah, there's no dramas whatsoever. Everybody is pretty aware of where they're at within their journey. And when I'm in the squad tonight to the boys, I'll chat to the people that aren't in it, of course.
You said you were going to talk to George Flanagan Jr. about the dissent and the penalty. How's he taken that talk?
No, I think if you look back, I said I'd already spoken to him, and certain media outlets, not yourself, blew it up to be something it wasn't. He's not the only one in pre-season that's been fined this year for giving a penalty away possession. I merely pointed out that when asked the question, is it something I'm comfortable with? No, it isn't, and the players understand that and know that. But this into which against George Flanagan Jr. is a young bloke who we love dearly, who will put his arm around him in times when he needs it, and we'll tell him when he's wrong when he needs it as well. But he's been very, very good in pre-season, and other than the nod to say you're going to have to cop a fine for that, and to explain to him why, there's no chat needed, because George is absolutely fine. And don't let other people unsettle him, and don't let other people make you believe that he's not.
Just on that culture of fines, how important is that to you as a head coach? That when players do get fined, they're not getting fined continuously for the same thing.
I'd love it that nobody gets fined, because it means that they're all buying into what we're looking for. The fine system that we have, I'm not a bloke that fines them and takes out the wage, as some coaches do. The fines go into their fine pot, and at the end of the season they'll go on the end of season trip and do what they do. So in a roundabout way they'll end up getting it back, but it's just there as a deterrent if anybody just does step outside of the boundaries that we've all set ourselves. As a group, we've all committed to some boundaries and of what it needs to look like and where it needs to be, and if you don't adhere to that, then there's got to be a consequence.
It's Whitehaven, the championship starts at Odsal on Sunday. Mark, what's the mood like amongst the boys?
Excitement, yeah, really looking forward to it. It's been a long pre-season, although it's not been, it doesn't seem like it's been long in number. You say a couple of months, 10 weeks sort of thing, but it's a long old slog. When it's dark outside and it's raining and it's hailing and whatever. So the boys have been, very, very good throughout. They've worked hard to get to this point, and they've earned the right to be excited about the coming weekend. I know our supporters are excited by it. I know there's a lot of plans, and a lot of work going on behind the scenes with our staff at Odsal, and hopefully it'll be a great occasion.
It's potentially going to be a record opening day crowd in terms of the championship, over 8,000 people inside Odsal Stadium. How important is it then, Mark, that the performance on the field matches that occasion? The razzmatazz before the game, everybody's excited, a lot of new faces to rugby league. Do you feel like there's a little bit of pressure going to be put on you and the players with the occasion and everything?
There's always pressure when when it's game day, make it at Bradford Bulls. There's always pressure, and rightly so. We set ourselves high standards and big targets, and we've got a pressure to deliver to that internally. It's not about who's in the stand. That's fantastic. It'll be very, very welcome, and I know, myself, the rest of the staff, and all the players enjoy seeing Odsal loud, proud, and bouncing. Fair credit to the guys up at Odsal that have been working hard behind the scenes to make that happen. My focus is on the players and the performance side of things, and I'm just going to concentrate on what we've been doing, what we've been working on, and how we deliver that, and if we do, we'll be fine.
On that starting 17, Mark, is that finalised? Is it signed, sealed? Are you happy with the 17, or is there still a couple of shirts up for grabs even at this late stage in the day ahead of the game on Sunday?
There's a couple of bumps and bruises that I want to check. I'm not going in without everybody being as close to 100% as we can, so there's a couple of bumps and bruises to check. But yeah, we're a good way down the track of knowing exactly what it looks like.
Is there anybody who is definitely ruled out of contention for Sunday's game?
Yeah, Billy Jowett's still 3 or 4 weeks away. His target return is lead reserves. Evans is still suspended, and Bradford's away yet. He picked up a back injury in the World Cup, which unfortunately has led him to have back surgery over the last 3 or 4 weeks. So he's recovering well. He's spending a lot of time with Grace at the moment in the physio room, and we won't rush in with the nature of his injury. So them 3 will definitely be out. Other than that, no definites.
Is there still doubts over Michael Lawrence and Brad England?
Michael Lawrence will definitely play. Brad England will check tonight.
What's the latest on Keven Appo, Mark? Obviously, London have signed a player from Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
I think we're ahead of where London are in terms of their players' arrival. What's the latest on Keven?
We are, yeah. I've been speaking to Kevin every other day, and it's fantastic news that he's had his visa approved now. So it's been approved by the people in PNG. So he's got his passport, he's got his visa in his hand, and we're just awaiting the dates and the time for the flight for him to arrive in the UK. So hopefully this time next week, Kevin will be in the building, and we'll be ready to welcome him with open arms.
That's really positive news. Obviously, feels like he's really going to be here now and being part of the squad. Yeah,
and again, it dispels them rumours that it was another Phoenix, doesn't it? So he's definitely got his visa. He's definitely booking a flight as we speak, and he'll be with us very soon.
On the Whitehaven game itself, Mark, how important is it that Bradford do get off to a fast start? Historically, teams from Cumbria working in Whitehaven, Barrow, they do like to come down and slow the ruck down and play the game at their own pace. How important is it Bradford get past that with a fast start and points on the board?
It's really important that we just be the best version of ourselves. I always say this about Cumbrian teams. I've never come across a bad one that rolls over and accepts things. They're a proud county, aren't they? Up in Cumbria, and there's some raw-boned blokes up there that will try right until the end, and they'll compete as well. So it's about us being the best version of ourselves. I'm going to show the boys some video tonight on Whitehaven and what their threats are, some opportunities where we think we can exploit them as well, and it's about our execution and our game plan. So we'll concentrate on ourselves while being always respectful of the opposition, and not expecting Whitehaven to come down here and let us have it our own way. We're going to have to earn everything we get, but that's what this club and this team's built on, is earning the right.
On the back of last season, Mark, and the problems at Odsal, 2023 clean slate, is this a chance now to put all that firmly behind and start the season with a bang and a home win?
Absolutely, yeah. Myself and the players are very, very excited to get back to Odsal. Looking forward to it tremendously. Can't wait, and it's about time we rewrote the history and the feelings of Odsal as well.
How often have you been training on Odsal, getting familiar with it? Because obviously there has been a bit of a wholesale turnover in players with departures and players coming in.
Yeah, we have done periodically. We've been up there a couple of times, but obviously with the inclement weather that we've had, it's been hard to train on any grass, so we've been on 4G predominantly. But yeah, we've done what we can up there without wrecking the pitch and churning it up so that it's resembles a cow field when we start the game. So we try to be as respectful of the field itself, but we have our training pitches here to the measurements of Odsal, which we feel is beneficial rather than churning up Odsal.
Workington away, it's a pre-season game. For those players that aren't going to be in the squad, what type of team is that looking like, Mark?
A really mixed team, Mick, but really exciting team as well. You know, there's some of the boys that have been in and around the reserve squad throughout pre-season have absolutely worked the rocks off, and some of them have had the opportunity to play against Dewsbury and Leeds in the trials, and some of them haven't. So it's going to be a chance for them guys to express themselves as well. It's going to be an opportunity for them to stake their claims for round 2. And again, Lee will take them up to Workington, and they'll go up there with the message that if you want to play in round 2, this is how you earn your right. So, it breeds competition. It breeds, people being focused and people being ready to take their opportunities when they come. So, really looking forward to seeing how they go.
And I guess, Mark, there's some interesting decisions for yourself, Lee Greenwood and Lee Beattie, in that players such as George Flanagan Jr. that can play academy, reserves and first team. Yeah,
and again that's testament to George, isn't it? That shows his talent, and it proves what ability he's got to still be at the age of being able to play academy football, never mind reserves. And we've got a young group of players that they're right on the cusp of making the next step up. And a lot's spoken about Miles and George, and rightly so. But I think Marcus Green's gone particularly well in the 2 pre-season friendlies, and Jaden Barraclough's had a cameo outing against Leeds. He played 15, I think it was 17 minutes actually, but yeah, he got some game time against Dewsbury as well, as did Bailey Arnold and Harry Gray and Lewis Camden, and there's a whole heap of them sort of players. So it's really, really important that we give them a platform of where they can express themselves, and that's what Workington will be at the weekend. And then we've got to nurture that and just make sure that they're on the right track for their journey, because that's probably a little bit away from where George and Miles are on their journey, but it's still vitally important to us as a group and us as a club.
And just finally, Mark, dual reg with Leeds, have you picked up the phone to Rowan, or you're happy and content with what you've got going at this game against Whitehaven?
Yeah, I spoke with Rowan. I speak with him regular, as you know. But yeah, I mean, we've got to be respectful that Leeds have got a game that's going to Hull Kingston Rovers as well. Where they've got to facilitate a team that allows them to do what we've been doing, which is cement their 17 for round 1 of Super League. So there'll be nobody joins us this week from Leeds. But as ever, keep speaking with Rowan and see what's around the corner.